Welcome to Bible Study with Faith, where I'm reading the Bible out loud to you in a way that's easier to understand. This is the book of Exodus, and we are on chapter 36. So Bezaleel, Oholiab, and every skilled person to whom the Lord gave skill and ability to know how to carry out all the work of constructing the sanctuary are to do the work just as the Lord had commanded. Then Moses summoned Bezaleel and Oholiab, and every skilled person to whom the Lord had given ability and who was willing to come and do the work. They received from Moses all the offerings the Israelites had brought to carry out the work of constructing the sanctuary. And the people continued to bring free will offerings morning after morning. So all the skilled workers who were doing all the work on the sanctuary left what they were doing and said to Moses, "The people are bringing more than enough for doing the work the Lord commanded to be done." Then Moses gave an order, and they sent this word throughout the camp: "No man or woman is to make anything else as an offering for the sanctuary." And so the people were restrained from bringing more, because what they already had was more than enough to do all of the work. More than enough. He always provides more than enough. All those who were skilled among the workers made the tabernacle with 10 curtains of finely twisted linen and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, with cherubim woven into them by expert hands. All the curtains were the same size, 28 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. They joined 5 of the curtains together and did the same with the other 5. They made loops of blue material along the edge of the end curtain in one set, and the same was done with the end curtain and the other set. They also made 50 loops on one curtain and 50 loops on the end curtain of the other set, with the loops opposite each other. Then they made 50 gold clasps and used them to fasten the 2 sets of curtains together so that the tabernacle was a unit. They made curtains of goat hair for the tent over the tabernacle, 11 altogether. All 11 curtains were the same size, 30 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. They joined 5 of the curtains into one set and the other 6 into the other set, and they made 50 loops along the edge of the end curtain in one set and also along the edge of the end curtain in the other set. They made 50 bronze clasps to fasten the tent together as a unit. Then they made for the tent a covering of ram skins dyed red, and over that a covering of the other durable leather. They made upright frames of acacia wood for the tabernacle. Each frame was 10 cubits long and a cubit and a half wide, with 2 projections set parallel to each other. They made all the frames of the tabernacle in this way. They made 20 frames for the south side of the tabernacle and made 40 silver bases to go under them, 2 bases for each frame, 1 under each projection. For the other side, the north side of the tabernacle, they made 20 frames and 40 silver bases, 2 under each frame. They made 6 frames for the far end, that is, the west end of the tabernacle, and 2 frames were made for the corners of the tabernacle at the far end. And these 2 corners, the frames were double from the bottom all the way to the top and fitted into a single ring. Both were made alike. So there were 8 frames and 16 silver bases, 2 under each frame. They also made crossbars of acacia wood, 5 for the frames on each one. 5 for the frames on one side of the tabernacle, 5 for those on the other side, and 5 for the frames on the west, at the far end of the tabernacle. They made the center crossbar so that it could extend from end to end at the middle of the frames. They overlaid the frames with gold and made gold rings to hold the crossbars. They also overlaid the crossbars with gold. They made the curtain of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and finely twisted linen with cherubim woven into it by skilled workers. They made 4 posts of acacia wood for it and overlaid them with gold. They made hooks, gold hooks for them, and cast their 4 silver bases. For the entrance to the tent, they made a blue curtain, purple and scarlet yarn, and finely twisted linen, the work of an embroiderer. And they made 5 posts with hooks for them. They overlaid the tops of the posts and their bands in gold and made their 5 bases and bronze. They also made crossbars of acacia wood, 5 for the frames on each one. 5 for the frames on one side of the tabernacle, 5 for those on the other side, and 5 for the frames on the west, at the far end of the tabernacle. They made the center crossbar so that it could extend from end to end at the middle of the frames. They overlaid the frames with gold and made gold rings to hold the crossbars. They also overlaid the crossbars with gold. They made the curtain of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and finely twisted linen with cherubim woven into it by skilled workers. They made 4 posts of acacia wood for it and overlaid them with gold. They made hooks, gold hooks for them, and cast their 4 silver bases. For the entrance to the tent, they made a blue curtain, purple and scarlet yarn, and finely twisted linen, the work of an embroiderer. And they made 5 posts with hooks for them. They overlaid the tops of the posts and their bands in gold and made their 5 bases and bronze. Is that not only were the supplies for clothing that needed to be made, so every jewel and drop of gold and piece of yarn and hides from rams dyed red were provided to build the tabernacle. The Lord shall provide always everything that we need. Our story was written before we were born. Before He created us, He knew who we were and what we were meant to be, and He has provided everything that we need to become that person every step of the way. If we never attained it, it's because of our free will getting in our own way. That's why they say we are our own worst enemy, and they couldn't be more true. We fight against ourselves, we make bad decisions against ourselves, and we want to blame it on everybody else. This isn't the way. We need to start taking full responsibility for what we do and the decisions that we make, the decisions that we put ourselves in. And yes, other people are going to be in trouble for some of the things that happen to us, because there are things that happen in our lives that we have no control over. This is like SA, for instance, or child abuse. These things, the people on the other side that are getting the things done to them, they are not in control of those situations. But many other situations in life, we are very much in control of. We choose who we put ourselves around. We choose the environment we put ourselves in. We choose to stay in abusive relationships. We choose to hang around drug addicts when we know that we want to be sober. We choose to blame our teachers when we make bad grades. We choose to blame our boss for how crappy our job is when we could just go get another one. So, it just keeps going. All in all, just choose Jesus. Tell Him to be your Lord and Savior. Tell Him to be your guiding light throughout life, through every situation, to tell you which way to go. Ask Him how to breathe, because that is the only way you're going to make it through life as fast as possible and as easy as possible. It's going to be complicated. Don't get me wrong. This walk is not easy. It's not for the weak. But what's going to happen is the hard parts are going to be easier on you. in charge of your emotions. You're in charge of your breath that you breathe, like huffing and puffing or wailing and crying. These things, you're in control of them. So anyways, we're done with this chapter. I'm going to go enjoy the sunset because, wow, it is a beautiful day here in